Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz, and today we're going to be doing a garage review of this thing, the Bretagne Panther, aka the French Panther, which was introduced a while ago. It's been on sale a couple of times. I got it in this Yeti event. You could buy it with gold, so that's what I did. I just bought it with gold, and here it is. It is a tier 6 version of the Panther, the same way as the Kuro is a tier 6 version of the Tiger. The same with Tiger 131, just being a lower tier version of the Tiger. And so yeah, let's get into it. So it has got 1050 HP, which for other tier 6 mediums, for example the Type 58, which has got 1039 with improved assembly. If we take off improved assembly, we get about a 980-ish HP. The tier 6 P43 anniversary gets 930. The Firefly I think gets 950. 1018, so yeah, take off that and you're looking at about 960. And what else do I have? The Sturv, for example. The Sturv has got 1007 with the improved assembly. So it's got one of the most amount of HPs out of medium tanks at this tier, 960 for the Cromwell B. So yeah, it's got a lot of HP for a tier 6 medium, which is very nice. It has better survivability than other mediums of the tier, which is, yeah, obviously a nice thing. 100 frontal turret, 45 side and rear, 80 frontal hull, 40 side and rear, which frontally on has been pretty good. 47 HP, 47 hull, sorry, for the Type 58, 90 for the turret. T-34, 85 turrets are pretty strong. For being frontally on, at least anyway. The Cromwells, for example, have only got 76 frontal turret, 64 frontal hull. The Panzer IV Schmollturm has got 130 frontal turret and 86 frontal hull. However, that is flat frontal hull armor, and the 130 here is also fairly flat, although it does have a little bit of sloping. But the Schmollturm turret is actually quite a good turret. Fury, for example, the Shermans at this tier, 64 frontal hull, 76 frontal turret. Yeah, it's all right armor, but 86 frontal turret, 45 frontal hull. The Bretagne Panther, in fact, let's actually just have a quick look at this. 100 frontal turret, 80 frontal hull. So yeah, it's got the same sort of armor as a P43, and it has also got a similar sort of profile as well to it in terms of its armor sloping there for the front of the hull. So it's a very strongly armored, frontally at least, medium tank. Obviously lower glacis is the weak spot, and I think probably in the machine gun pores as well, but I could be wrong. I haven't actually looked at the sort of damage model of this thing. But yeah, it is 80 frontal hull, but it is sloped, which makes the effective armor upwards of 90-100 mil, which yeah, is very good for a tier 6 medium, and especially a medium at this tier at least. Things like the Tigers have only got 100 frontal hull. Yeah, there you go, 100 frontal hull. The Thunder, for example, the heavy tank, has got 108 frontal hull, and it is relatively flat. It is fairly sloped, but even so, for a medium tank, it's got pretty decent armor. The same with the front of the turret as well, though you can punch through it if you do have enough penetration at least. The side armors, though, yeah, not so good. 40 side, 45 side for the turret. You're not going to be doing much side scraping. If anything, front scraping is what you're going to be doing, so just sort of angling it like this, only showing the front of your tank if you can. People will aim for the drivetrain, obviously, but yeah, you can get bounces off of this frontal hull because it is just so well sloped and so well armored, which is why, the Panther is a nice tank to have. Mobility-wise, 36 kilometers per hour. 20 power to weight ratio, 31 degrees turret, 41 degrees hull, 945 horsepower engine. Compared to something like the P43, P43 has got slightly worse power to weight, slightly worse average speed, but it does have better hull and turret reverse. The Firefly, for example, 14.8, 31, better hull and turret though. T-34-85s, they've got 35, 18, better hull and turret. Even the VK, if anyone has the VK, which is the what used to be the only Panther-like thing at this tier, 33, 17.9, same sort of turret and hull traverse. Things like the Cromwells are going to outclass it. 23, 39, better hull and turret. Mobility-wise, it's sort of alright. It's not quite slow, but it's definitely not as good as some of the other medium tanks. Obviously, it's not as bad as the Schmulturm because it is just a Panther 4 with heavier modules. Fury, 15, 32, better hull, same sort of turret. So yeah, mobility-wise, it's all right. It's nothing amazing, but it gets the job done for a medium tank. It's mobile enough. As for the gun, it is a 75mm, 3.5 second aim time, which is alright. Very good dispersion of 0.32. Almost 1800 DPM with a 5.35 reload time, which is pretty good. 150 average pen with AP, 194 with APCR, 20 with HE, 160, 135, 200. Similar sorts of numbers as we see on other 75s at this tier. 8 degrees of gun depression, which is pretty good. Compare that to something like the 88, 85 that's on the Type 58. There you go. It has got, the Type 58 has got worse DPM, worse dispersion, worse aim time, worse average pen, but slightly better average damage. For a different 75mm, 76mm for the Ordnance Quickfire 17 pounder. Better pen, better DPM, same sort of dispersion and aim time, better reload time, same average damage, only 6 degrees of gun depression though. The Fury, actually that's got a 75mm on it. Yeah, worse DPM, worse damage, better reload time, better DPM, worse dispersion and slightly better aim time, 12 degrees of gun depression as well. Same sort of thing on Loza Sherman as well. 1800, nearly 1900 DPM, 0.3 accuracy. Even compared to something like the Schmulturm's gun, which has got the same sort of average pen but a better reload time, better DPM, better dispersion, better aim time, and 10 degrees of gun depression, the gun on the Bretagne Panther is not amazing. It's most comparable to something like the Cromwell's gun, but even that has got better DPM. Whilst it does have pretty decent accuracy stats, 0.32, 3.5 second aim time, that's all very nice, but the reload time is the real problem for this gun. 8 degrees of gun depression is good, but it could be better. 10 is sort of what you want to be aiming for. Damage wise, it's alright. Average pen, it's pretty good for this tier, for a medium tank at least. This is probably more of a flanking support tank. You can be a sniper with this gun because it does have very good accuracy, so you can just aim for weak spots, and even though the DPM is slightly worse than other more popular mediums at this tier, it's still a decent enough 75mm gun. There's nothing particularly wrong with it. It's got good accuracy, DPM's alright, good penetration, and all that. So it does come with its own camo. Obviously, as you can see, the unique camo. I have put the twin D2 model 1926. I believe these are French machine guns, but I could be wrong. But even so, having just anti-aircraft machine guns on this looks nice, so I've obviously put them on. As for consumables, you obviously get your standard repair, first aid, fire. You get your multi-purpose, which is those three rolled into one. You get your engine power boost for your 20% engine power for 15 seconds, and you do get your adrenaline for your extra load speed and chance of damaging enemy vehicle modules for 15 seconds. You can mix and match those as you want. As for provisions, this is a French tank, despite the fact that it is a German Panther, but even so, you do get your canned pate and coffee and croissants for 3 and 10% respectively to crew mastery. You obviously get your standard and improved fuel for 3 and 10% respectively to engine power and turret traverse, and then you've got your protective kit, which is all those, so you can go ahead and mount them as you want. This is a premium tank. Is it premium? Yeah, it is. Not premium, not collectible. So you will obviously be making more credits anyway, so you can afford to run this stuff, because you're unlikely to lose credits on this thing. As for ammo, it does carry 80 rounds of ammo, which is a lot. You're probably never going to run out of ammo in the course of a normal battle, so you can go ahead and mix and match those as you want. You can carry as much AP and APCR as you want, you're never really going to run out. As for equipment, gun rammer, get that DPM up and reload time down. The biggest problem with this gun is it's fairly low DPM for a tier 6 medium tank, so whilst calibrated shells would be nice, you do have pretty good pen for a medium tank tier 6, so you don't really need the extra 8 mils of pen. Gun rammer is better for the reduced reload time and the better DPM. Improved modules for the extra track durability. It's just always, you can put this on if you want, if you find that your engine's getting damaged a lot or crew is being injured, which is not a bad idea actually for the extra engine durability, because lower glacis right here is the weak spot of the Panther, and it is where the transmission's located, so you're likely to see some higher chance of your engine being damaged over the course of battles compared to being in something like the Type 58 where the gearbox and all that is at the back. So yeah, therefore it might be worth going for the extra engine health, as it were, but I always find tracks are more useful. If you range, you are a medium tank, coated optics are going to be more useful. Whilst you could be a sniper, you've got pretty good armour, you have got a decent gun despite its low DPM, so it's better as a sort of more brawling medium tank than anything, so coated optics is going to be more useful. Enhanced gun lane drive gets that aim time down to 0.35 instead of 0.39, which is not as good. Enhanced gun lane drive is going to be more useful. Supercharger, it's alright. You don't really need the extra penetration decrease over distance because, like I say, your normal damage of your gun is decent enough that even if you do lose some penetration over distance, you're still going to have the same as sort of like a Sherman, for example, at 100 meters. So you don't really need supercharged. Enhanced gun lane drive is going to be more useful. Enhanced armor, this thing is probably the most well-armored medium tank at this tier, other than the P43 or perhaps one or two other outliers. Enhanced armor is probably going to be useful on this medium tank. Whilst improved assembly would be nice, gets your hit points up even further. You do have the largest hit point pool at this tier, or at least one of them. So enhanced armor is probably going to be beneficial for this tank. Engine accelerator as well gets your power to weight up, gets your hull traverse up as well, and also your average speed. You don't really need the improved control because your hull traverse is still pretty decent. So engine accelerator just for the pure power to weight is going to be more useful on this tank. Vert stabs as well, more useful for your accuracy firing on the move over a refined gun. 0.29 accuracy is just overkill for a medium tank. Like I say, you should be more of a brawling medium than a sniper medium, so you don't really need the extra accuracy, whereas vert stabs firing on the move is going to be more useful. So yeah, I'd say vert stabs on this tank. Enhanced tracks or toolbox, really your choice. Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. I normally go with enhanced tracks, but if you do want your extra module repair, then you can go with that, I suppose. And then your choice of whatever the hell those two things are. So overall, it's a strongly armoured medium with a lot of HP. It's pretty good medium at this tier. The DPM is the letdown of this thing, but even so, the rest of the gun stats are great. And yeah, it also has got the nice HD model, which is always nice. And yeah, it's just a nice looking tank. It's pretty well rounded, strong armor. If you can, and you like mediums and you like mid-tier battles, this is definitely a tank to consider getting. So yes, I'll thank you for watching and goodbye.